Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Grandparents Podcast. Today, we are joined by special guest Gabe, the one and only. We totally haven't mentioned him a couple times in past podcasts.
Yeah, he's more iconic than probably our other two guest stars, despite the fact that he has even less of a following.
Gato!
I've finally arrived.
The arrive has happened.
Long awaited.
Welcome in,
Yes.
welcome in.
Howdy.
I hope you are doing well. I hope, Kano, you are also doing well.
Yes, overall no complaints today. It's been a Thursday.
It's been a Thursday. A lot of back-to-back stuff.
Yes.
I will say. But yeah, I hope everybody else's Thursday or whenever you're listening to this is going well. And yeah, we have Gabe on today. And to get to know Gabe a little bit, because some of you guys might not know, Gabe is our lovely, lovely friend. He is on Eden SMP with us. But outside of streaming, he doesn't make a lot of content, so you might not have seen him. But you should go and check him out because he's a really cool dude. And also, he streams pretty late at night. So if you're ever looking, I will fully admit that I fall asleep to every single one of Gabe's streams because he streams so late, and I'll just put it on the background and I just fall asleep. So yeah, literally.
Or if you just want to feel bad about or not feel bad about being nocturnal.
True.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay to be nocturnal. It's okay to have insomnia, but it's obviously not okay to have insomnia.
Correct.
It's okay to have insomnia, but go to sleep.
Yeah. But get some help.
No.
I'm kidding. But yeah. So Gabe, how did you get into content creation?
So I had done years ago, when I was younger. I had seen obviously growing up with YouTube and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I want to do that at some point, and then just didn't ever. But the way that I kind of got into it myself is I had just been playing a bunch of games and stuff, and I was like, if I'm going to be playing all this stuff anyway, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to stream it. And I had a few sporadic streams earlier on, but I really got into it it's December 17th 2 years ago, I want to say.
Oh.
So I've been going at it for a little bit now. I started off streaming the game Hades, which is really fun. I would highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't played it before. And from there, I didn't stream I didn't stream 24 hours every day, but I streamed consistently every single day for 130 odd some days straight.
Damn.
Until I got affiliate and just kind of wrote it out from there.
That is hardcore dedication. Jeez. That's crazy. And then you stream pretty regularly now, almost every day.
Yeah. It's been a bit wacky with work stuff recently, but more or less I stream every day, usually excluding Tuesdays now, but pretty much every day from
That's critical role night.
Yes. Anywhere from 11 or 12 11 or midnight CST to 2, 3 in the morning ish. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually out by 2. I don't really remember any of the end of his streams, but they're still good. You should go and check them out.
They're so boring you can fall asleep to them.
No, Gabe has a relaxing voice, and if you are having trouble sleeping, he might be able to help you because he's even if he's playing Overwatch, it's very no. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just batshit crazy that I can fall asleep when four men in a call are playing Overwatch going, ah! yeah, like I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm just the psycho one. But we've talked about this outside of obviously this setting, but in regards to like furthering content creation, you've talked about how it would be sick to do content creation full time, but you're not like actively like working towards that. You're kind of just like big chilling right now. Is there anything
Yeah.
that like you
Um,
would want to do full time instead of like what you're doing right now?
as opposed to like what I'm doing full time. Yeah, obviously doing content creation would be cool, but I don't know. The whole like YouTube side of content creation never.
Oh no. Gabe died for me.
Oh, he did that for me too.
You died.
Thanks, Discord. I didn't want to be.
Gives you this heartfelt story, and
I
then
know.
it just decides to cut you out.
Continue going. You said you cut out after like doing content creation would be like full time.
Oh yeah, doing content creation full time would be pretty sick, as opposed to like what I'm doing right now. But like especially like the YouTube side of content creation has always been cool, but I don't really like chasing hype or trends or whatever. It feels
I'm with
pretty
ya.
cringe to me. Which like if you're doing that and like YouTube's your job, it like makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's part of why I especially like streaming is because it's like I can just do whatever I feel like, and it feels like there's less pressure to like hook somebody's attention within like the first 5 seconds of a YouTube video. Where obviously, like if you have a new viewer, it's like you want to keep their attention. But I don't know.
Right.
Part of me is like, I just don't care that much. I don't know. I like playing the video games. Content creation wise, if I can just make something out of playing the video games, that would be cool. If I have to work more like back end stuff, I don't think I would really want to do that for myself because I don't know if I'd really enjoy doing that. But just doing like
You like the production
that as
aspect of
a
it versus like
doing that as
pre-production.
doing that as a job, I wouldn't be opposed to.
Do you have like any like dream jobs? We kind of talked about it on the podcast last week of like what we would be doing instead of this, but like, do you have any dream jobs? Like what ideally, like what you'd want to do? Hard hitting questions here.
Yeah, you're asking about my dreams and aspirations. What the fuck?
Well, Kano, okay, for contents, Kano and I had said something that like that we have in our background kind of thing. Like I would probably go into like broadcast television because I went to school for that, and then like Kano would go into like writing or like working within like the journalism like field, whether that's like writing the actual stories or like he even said like just potentially even working just at like a Barnes and Noble. Like
Yeah.
but this is more of like what would you want to do? And I can give an example of like my ideal job would be like to be a professional animation dub voice actor. So
I
don't know if that
I
helps.
did go to college for a little bit, for like a semester, for manufacturing design technology. So
Okay.
like modeling stuff and then routing like CNCs.
Is that like
Which,
making
is
car
it was
models?
I enjoyed it. It's just, college was college.
Yeah.
So I don't hate doing that, but I don't know. I very much like my job is my job, and like if I want to do fun stuff, I'll do that on my off time. But just honestly, anything where I could like just kind of do it from home and I don't have to be running like customer service would be wonderful. even if I'm just
I feel
like
you.
even if I'm just like filling out documents or whatever for like a company or anything, I don't mind. I'm
Well,
really boring.
You're not
I
boring.
I like the monotonous jobs. That's like what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I hear ya. Well, even so, like that still sounds like I don't know. For me, I'm very much like I need to be doing something different like every day to like keep my attention span because I'm like a little distracted ADHD. I'm like a squirrel. Like I have the brain of a goldfish. So like I need to be doing something that's like different every day. So I don't fully understand like the I can't say the word monotonous work.
Phenomenon.
Manana. Yeah. So yeah,
I just crave consistency.
I like having a schedule, but I don't mind when that schedule is like different every single day, as long
Yeah.
as I've planned it.
Yeah,
I know what I'm
just
doing.
fair.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, we brought you on here today because we
We think you're cool.
love you. First of all, we love you. We think you're cool. And everyone should go and check out. You should go and check out Gabe if you like watching streams. Just literally, just go watch them. Just go watch
Yeah.
Gabe. All right. But you're also like us, a big D&D nerd.
You could have just said nerd, but yeah.
No, specifically D&D nerd.
Yes.
And there's been some recent changes that Wizards, or for some of you who don't know, Wizards of the Coast is like the brand or the company that kind of like deals with all things production side of like D&D. They made some changes to the Druid class, and it came with the after the like newest announcement trailer for the D&D movie, which we did touch on last week episode a little bit.
Yeah.
Because people are like, how did the Druid or someone who's supposed to be the Druid in this trailer like switch back and forth or like still be able to fight? Like people are questioning it a lot in the way that it was presented, and then Wizards of the Coast came out saying that they're planning to make changes to the Druid class, which in my very humble and honest opinion feels like a debuff to the Druid class, which honestly they did it to Ranger. I feel like Wizards just has like a vendetta against nature classes. Because they came out with 3 pre-made stat blocks that you can choose from if you would like. And they're changing the rules of how Wild Shape works, where you now keep your AC and HP of your actual person instead of getting the buff. So how it would work before for anyone who doesn't fully understand or follow D&D or play D&D, before when you'd play a druid, you could wild shape into anything that was a CR level that was half your level. So if you were level 4, you could wild shape into anything that was like a CR1, and then so forth and so forth as you like go up, because it's rounded down. And so like you could change into like a wolf or something, and then whatever the wolf's AC is, you would take on, but you would also get their health as temp HP. So now you just keep your HP. So if you're level 4 and you only have like 25 hit points, and then you turn into a wolf, you still only have 25 hit points.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a debuff in my opinion. And like druids aren't going to be seen as the tank anymore. But it's like, why don't you just like let the DM decide that, you know? So what are your guys' opinions on it?
So
I mean, well, you go.
no, you go first, because I had a whole rant on it.
Oh, no.
I see.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I mean, when I've played D&D in the past, I've actually not experienced really like a full game with druids outside of myself being a druid at one point.
Mhm.
And even then it wasn't like a wild shape druid. I focused more on like, I was like doing like a fire druid thing. And so
Okay.
it played out a lot more differently. But I guess as a player, the ability to be able to kind of become something that's bigger than you I think it certainly has become the trademark of the Druid class for D&D thus far, but I also feel like it's something that a lot of players leaned on for support in certain tactics and styles and strategies. And so I think I understand why the nerfs are in essence being made, to some extent, but at the same time, I think it's one of those weird things where, like, with D&D, because it's a game that's meant to be more about role play and storytelling, and you have mechanics, but it kind of caters toward one thing. It seems really unusual they'd say, "Let's just change something that's kind of become intrinsically part of what we know for D&D to be the case,
Hmm.
with these different classes." And so to kind of change those rules in a way like that feels a bit unnecessary. Like, why would you go through and make adjustments to something that has effectively been a pretty good system thus far that no one's complained about? Um, like, why would you feel a need to make those changes
Yeah.
universally applicable to this game? So, on the one hand, as a person, I'm like, I can see where the logic comes from. I think it makes, in some ways, more sense that your HP be tied to your character because then you can do like a whole bunch of like connections to like your character's willpower is what enables them to have these health points in this way. Like it's based on their own stamina and constitution as compared to the creature that they are becoming in essence.
Hmm.
So it feels like less superficial, but at the same time, it's part of what that class has been known for. And so to make changes like that, that again weren't necessarily requested changes feels a bit like Wizards is trying to kind of force other people to play characters that maybe they don't want um, to be able to gain the same effects that they would from one, which isn't the point of D&D. The point of D&D is
Hmm.
to play characters and have fun. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my take on it.
I don't remember who I was talking to. I will say quickly before you go on your rant, Gabe, but I was talking to
No, you're
someone. I
fine.
went out. I went out for dinner, and we were talking about D&D. And they were asking about it and like how it kind of works. And I was like, well, essentially, you have your three main books that you follow along, and there's a set rules in there. But really, it's so unbelievably customizable on what you can and can't do. It all really depends on the DM and how they want to rule it. So like you have a guideline, but you really don't like need to follow that guideline. You really only need like the mechanics of like fighting. If you
Right.
that's even if you want to follow that mechanic. Like you could change it up and the DM could be like, "No, you get one action each turn." Um instead of an action, a bonus action and a movement, So
Right.
just feel like they did the same thing when they switched Ranger over from Pathfinder rules to D&D 5e rules, that they tried to simplify it and it made it like worse. And like Wizards is like trying to say that like Druid is the least played class. From my understanding, Druid is like the first class everyone plays because it's a they're full casters, but they're half casting, half melee. So you can really get like a sense of both casting and fighting in D&D, and then you can start expanding to like full caster and like doing crazy shit with that, or like you could become like a melee and like understand other classes a lot better. Like I was very much recommended to play a druid as my first character, and I did, and I love her. So
I also played a druid first.
yeah, like I don't know what Wizards just smoking something. I don't know.
Over here, I played Paladin first. I was like, "Oh, this is the class I need to play."
That checks out, honestly.
That was a human.
Tracks.
That tracks.
I was like, I was like, everyone's like human fighter, and I'm like, that's the more superficial. I'm gonna go Paladin instead because they can do healing.
Oh, true. But they're not like a full cleric.
Yes, precisely. They smite
Fine.
things.
All
Gabe,
right. So
let's hear it.
the first thing, so I talked to Kano a little bit beforehand. I whipped out the whole like document that's got all the changes and everything. Was reading through it. So the first thing to like keep in mind is all of this is unearthed arcana stuff, which for anybody who doesn't know, that's like playtest, and that's playtesting material. So like they're
Mhm.
still obviously testing it. Um and so just reading through that, one of the first things that they touch on is like power level, which they say The character options here might be more or less powerful than options in the player's handbook. If the design survives playtesting, we'll adjust the power to the desirable level before publication. So, it could be more or less powerful than how it is at the moment. The other thing,
Mm.
I also massive nerd that I am, I follow like 2 D&D subreddits, and one of the big things that's going around in there is the whole talk that casters are so much stronger than martial classes, and which is true to an extent.
Yes.
And so part of what Wizards, I believe, is trying to do is kind of balance that.
Mm.
And so they do kind of have to nerf most of the caster classes. That's how it works. So you balance things. Um, but honestly, like reading through the changes, right?
Mhm.
So the one of the big things that I think is fun is with all the wild shape stuff, you actually don't keep your same AC. Your AC is 10 plus your wisdom modifier. Not you don't even include your dex
Oh,
anymore
what?
or any armor.
For wild
Oh.
shape specifically?
Yeah, for the stuff that you wild shape into.
So your
So
AC will always be the same then?
if you have max wisdom of 20, so plus 5,
Yeah.
you have an AC of 15.
In wild shape.
Yes. Which does seem kind of cringe to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, because if
So
you have like say you're like I don't remember what they're proficient to, like if they can wear heavy armor. I don't think they can. I think they can
it's
wear
light armor.
they can only wear light armor?
Uh
Yeah, that's
their
pretty
armor
normal
training
for
is light armor and shields.
yeah, that's druids.
Okay, so yeah, you can have a shield, which if you get like depending on like the magic items, there is a way that you could probably have like a minimum like a 17 AC, if not 18. Because I'm pretty sure that my druid has like I have like leather studded armor, and then I have a
You're a stud.
shield. And I'm a stud. And then I and then I have a
I
shield,
put
which
the stud in studded leather.
I have a shield, which I think brings me to 17 or 18 AC. So then to go into wild shape
And
and
then
like
your AC's lower.
yeah, I mean, well,
It-
like in wild shape, depending on like what you do, like your AC is lower. Like a dire
yes.
wolf has like a 13 or 14 AC, which is understandable. But like, why would you like? It feels like it takes away like the personality because like now a squirrel has 15 AC.
I should also clarify. So both the animal of land and animal of sea are 10 plus your wisdom modifier. The animal of sky is 8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Oh, so if you want to be like a bird or something, you're even lower.
Yes. So the other thing that I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talk about is they are changing Druid instead of just having wild shape as like a resource. It's now
Mhm.
channel nature, similar to how the cleric has like channel divinity, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
So with channel nature at level 1, you get access to wild shape, which I don't think you actually get access to wild shape at level 1 right now. I could be wrong on that, but
I can look
um
quickly while you're talking.
so then at second level, you get Nature's Aid, which gives you 2 new features. One is Healing Blossoms, which you can use as action, and you choose a point within 30 feet, a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point. You roll a number of d4s equal to your wisdom modifier, add the dice together, and you heal that much, and you can distribute it out to any creatures in that sphere. So that's a pretty cool use. And then
Mhm.
there's also Wild Companion, which essentially allows you to cast the Find Familiar spell, and it lasts for the day. It doesn't consume a spell slot, it just consumes a channel
Oh.
nature usage. So
Oh.
I personally actually really like the idea of having a channel nature thing and having different options. So like if you
Instead of
wanted
just
to wild
having
shape, you
wild
could,
shape.
or if you wanted to like do a healing thing, you could. And the other thing with Find Familiar that I think is neat is because they moved the ability to change into a tiny creature up to a higher level, which I think kind of makes sense. How high they put it is a little ridiculous, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. Um, but now you have access to the Find Familiar spell basically as a wild shape usage, and you can still have a familiar be like a tiny creature and go do any scouting that you wanted to do. So I think that actually
Mm.
does cover that really well. So
Oh
I
yeah, because then
actually
it doesn't save you a wild shape, but it saves that you can like you're not the one doing the scouting. You can like make
yeah,
an animal go do it, and it's second level by the way that you learn wild shape.
yes. So
Yeah.
Um, I actually really like the idea of having different usages of like a channel nature feature to do different things. I think that's really cool. I
Yeah,
think it adds
I like
more
that.
options to the druid class, which is
Is it
pretty
limited
neat.
to two like channel divinity is?
Um,
Because I think
it's
you can only do channel divinity twice.
it's 2 from 1st to 4th level, 3 from 5th to
Okay, so it
8th,
does.
and then 4 from 9th to 20th.
That's nice that it gets bigger because I don't know
Yes.
I haven't played like a high level cleric. But I know that they only get two channel divinities, I'm pretty sure, and I think it stays like that for like at least a while, if not the
Yeah.
entire 20 levels if you were to go
Yeah.
20 levels into cleric, which understandable. Channel divinity does like some insane shit.
Yeah.
Because you're literally calling upon your god to help you. So this is like a little bit different. So I do like that if they were to do that they'd have multiple options. I don't know. It feels very strange to me. I'm hoping that they can balance it, but like what Kano was saying was that it feels like they're making changes when they like don't what was it? What did you say?
Unnecessary changes?
It's
Not
unnecessary. They're so kind
not
of
unnecessary,
positive.
unasked
Like,
for, unsolicited. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Unsolicited
That's a good word.
changes. It is a good word. Um,
But I
yeah,
like the different options that it offers. The biggest issue that I see with doing things that way is you need to what I think would make it cool is having your respective subclasses have give you a different channel nature feature,
yeah,
kind of like how with paladin your different oath gives you like different things that you can do.
right,
Um, which, looking at the one subclass that they have in here right now, doesn't look like it actually does anything like that. And the other big thing is they're trying to diversify what you can use your channel nature usages on, but almost all of the improvements that you get from leveling up affect wild shape. So
right.
it's kind of like, oh yeah, we want you to do other stuff than wild shape, but
not
here's a
really.
bunch of buffs for wild shape because it I like the ability to diversify it, but I feel like the druid class might almost fall into a bit of a an identity crisis, trying to
Hmm.
find out like what you can use it for, what you want to use it for. And I personally, at least at the moment, think that if Wizards is worried about Druid having like quote the lowest play rate, I
Mhm.
feel like some of these changes having some of these issues might cause it to go lower even. But
Hmm.
again, this is just unearthed arcana stuff. So it's playtest material. You can offer uh you can try it out and then you can offer criticism and thoughts on
Right.
it to them and let them know what you think of it. So
Okay,
if
good.
you think this is a terrible decision, let them
Check
know.
it out.
Exactly. And they'll be like, "Oh, okay, we should make changes."
But I do also think
Please.
it's important to not just like hear like, "Oh, they're nerfing wild shape into the ground. This is terrible, guys. Let's
They
save the druid,"
suck.
without
Let's
having
hate
like
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
without having the context of like, well, they're trying to accomplish this, and then there's other buffs that they've done to it as well.
Mhm.
And another cool thing that they have in the document here is they have the classes divided up into different groups and what they like the goals and characteristics of those groups. And the cleric or the druid falls into the priests category, which like their
Oh.
goal is stewards of divine or primal magic who focus on healing, utility, and defense. And I think having more options to use like your channel nature on does fulfill that. You just kind of have
Hmm.
to figure out, do we want wild shape to be the main focus of this anymore, or do we want it to kind of shift into a multifaceted caster?
Yeah.
Right.
Which, if you guys want to check it out, we will have that link down below. We'll have
Yes.
the document or article linked down below, so you guys can go check that out.
Do
Speaking of
research.
animals, yes, for your own research. But speaking of animals, we all know and love Steve Irwin, right? It's just like a universal thing that we all
Yes.
love him. And his children have followed in his footsteps and have like taken on like the business and all that stuff. And recently, Bindi, I mean, like, I think it was about a year or two ago, she had her daughter, which was crazy to me to even see on Instagram that she was pregnant. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, she's having a baby. This is so strange." Like I grew
Baby.
up watching you as a baby, like, like it was weird. Like, and I feel really bad because recently she posted on Twitter that she went through surgery um for endometriosis. And if you don't know what that is, I will leave a link down below to the definition. But I will also read the definition here for you. It is endometriosis is derived from the word endometrium, which is the tissue that lines the uterus. Patients with endometriosis have endometrial type tissue outside of the uterus. It usually only affects like 2 to 10% of American women between the ages of 25 and 40. Essentially, it's a bunch of like tiny little like skin tissue cysts kind of thing that like
Yeah.
form on the outside of your uterus. And I've never had it personally, so I do not speak from experience. But from my understanding, it is extremely painful. And usually people, I would believe, they go through surgery to either have them removed or to just like the actual like cysts removed, or they just straight up get a hysterectomy.
Right.
Her tweet from reading it, I don't believe states what she had done. But just that they had found 37 lesions, some that are deep and difficult to remove. She's currently in recovery and she's doing all good for right now, but is mainly just trying to spread awareness for endometriosis because it is very painful. And unfortunately, even in Canada, and other parts of the world, it's not just America, that doctors don't listen to you. They don't listen to people's pain. So, I don't know. It's very like warming, and I'm sure that a lot of people are very appreciative of the fact that she's being so open and honest and talking about it. And just like kind of validating people's pain because like doctors don't. Some doctors are like, yeah, you're fine. And it feels, I don't know why, and this is just my hot take on it, probably because I am AFAB. But I feel like women's health is not taken as seriously in the medical field. And a lot of the times I feel like women's pain is not like explored or studied. So you get met with a lot of, no, you're just having period cramps, or no, you're fine, or this or that. Like just a lot of like excuses really, and that's my hot take on it. But yeah, so I guess it's just a little update, because I feel like everyone knows who Steve Irwin is. Like he was very beloved by a lot of people, and to see like Bindi sharing that, I don't want to assume that she had a hysterectomy, but the way that her tweet reads is that she's talking about like how thankful she was to have had her daughter.
Right.
And she says she feels like our family's miracle. So I don't know if that's implying that she like, honestly, and I think I said this to you guys when we found out the other day, but like the fact that she was living with this like chronic pain and then also had a baby,
Yeah.
like that is pat on the back, girl. Like Jesus. So I don't know. I don't know much about if like obviously personal things, but just wanted to update you guys on Bindi because I saw that tweet and I was like, oh my god, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it because like endometriosis is, well, from what I've heard, like I said, very painful and not fun. So
Yeah. Now you're more informed.
more informed, yay!
You know more. Congratulations.
Congratulations. The link to her tweet will be down below. And I will also try and find any more information on endometriosis if you guys want to look into it. I will say this as a little PSA. Always do your research. Just saying.
Yeah. No, we
Before forming opinions.
Yes, no, and that's to do with literally anything. And I know Mousie's particularly saying this because we happened to have an instance recently where some friends of ours got unrightfully accused of
Mhm.
some really bad stuff. Like, and it's like, in essence, sort of got confused with somebody who known groomer, and it was
Yeah,
bad. And
it's not
so,
good.
just as a heads up, whenever you see anything on the internet, especially regarding people or possible rumors, always take the time to double check the information, cross reference, do research, because that kind of thing, yes, is a very important accusation to keep in mind. But
Mhm.
also, some things, like in the case of our friend today, it could have been very easily cleared up if people had just looked at the
Yeah.
obvious
They
and
taken the
saw what the
time.
answers were.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, stay informed and don't just take even what we say at face value. Take the time to double check it and research it on your own, because if you want to know more about it, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just easier to listen to other people's opinions on people or things, but it is more beneficial to you and everyone in general to actually like read. Crazy.
Exactly. It also helps with, the lovely thing that we like to call like the sheep syndrome, in essence, where you just follow along what everyone else is doing around you. And if you actually take time to be informed about what's going on around you, then you're a lot less likely to fall into that trap. Something I learned a
True.
lot about in debate team, because we had to, argue for we did congressional debate when I was in high school, and in essence, what we had to do was do research on topics that we'd be given, that school, like, kids would make bills that we would argue against, and it didn't really matter whether or not you supported that bill in real life or not. The idea was find research, learn about this topic, and try to argue for this side, this perspective, based on evidence you can find. um and it was so helpful to have that experience in my life, where I was like, I gotta be forced to take time to really look at these issues and topics from a multitude of perspectives and see what people are saying about them. And you very quickly can start to see when information starts to cross reference, it's usually going to be more accurate than information that one person has said from rightwingnews.com. And then you're going to be like, maybe my news is a little skewed because I look at this one source. And obviously
Mhm.
that's a very specific example of an actual website out there, mind you, that people ascribe to. But, like, there's so many things you just got to do, especially politically wise. So, like, just be informed, take time, don't
Yeah.
let yourself fall into a trap. It's not good for you or for other people.
Exactly.
It's not bad to listen to like people talk about news or anything, but
Mhm.
like take those topics that they're talking about and form your own opinions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can listen, but like, don't just be like, oh well, they said it, so it's true. Like, people
Don't
lie.
let anybody cramp your style.
Oh gosh. But we're gonna move on to the should I be scolded segment. I have
Yay!
my cats are like fighting right next to me. What the heck? I have two short ones. But one of them has a pretty
Cats?
long update. So
was-
no. I was just gonna like, what is it? Glaze over the fact of that I was talking. Anyway, we're just gonna move on. We're gonna be playing Should I Be Scolded, which, if you don't know, is essentially Am I the Asshole, but we renamed it to Should I Be Scolded so that Kano can participate.
Yay!
Yay!
Inclusivity.
Woo!
Exactly.
So I'll start with the longer of the two. Like, they're two short ones, but I'll start with the one that doesn't have an update. But yeah. Okay. So, should I be scolded for calling my girlfriend selfish for refusing to learn sign language for my daughter? My daughter Ruby was born mute. She can understand words, but we use sign language to communicate. While she can use her phone to or write, obviously she prefers to sign. The issue is my girlfriend Amanda. Oh wait, no, this one's the update one. Never mind. I'm big dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, This is the issue is my girlfriend Amanda. We've been dating for around 9 months and introduced our children around 3 months ago. They don't know sign language, so communication with Ruby was awkward at first. She hates having to write out or use her phone at home, so I taught Amanda some basic signs beforehand, and I've continued teaching her and Mia more in this time. I'm assuming Mia is Amanda's daughter. Mia is getting a lot better, actually. But Amanda has apparently decided it's too hard and refuses to learn anymore. She says that it's unnecessary since Ruby can understand her and communicate other ways. While Ruby is usually willing to do that for them, she doesn't enjoy it and finds it frustrating. I told Amanda she's being selfish and lazy, that it's not fair to put all the effort on Ruby. It's one thing if she doesn't get it after years, but it's only been a few months. It's just ridiculous. We got into a fight over, and she basically called me an asshole and said it's not her fault she struggles with it, but that doesn't mean just give up. If she wants to be in our life, it's the bare minimum effort to put in. I clearly think that she's just being selfish while she thinks I'm an asshole and unfair. I vented to my brother and he agrees with Amanda that I can't force her to learn and not everyone is good with language and that Ruby doesn't need it, but I'm coddling her. I'm honestly still pissed off, but I do love Amanda. She's normally thoughtful and kind, and I guess it's possible it's just me being overprotective of Ruby. I think it's a reasonable expectation, but I'm starting to doubt myself. Thoughts? What are your thoughts on it?
I've listened to your podcast in the past, obviously.
Mhm.
And I have a wonderful track record of thinking that nobody's the asshole ever.
Ooh, okay.
I'm weird.
You're non-confrontational.
Well,
Confu-
I suppose. But I don't know. I personally think that in this situation, the person's not. I think that the girlfriend is 100% the asshole. And
Oh.
this might be because I know some people who are deaf and use sign language and stuff, and it's like even if you're not picking up on it,
Well, she's not deaf. She's
even
mute. She just can't speak like
yeah.
English.
But
So like she can still hear her.
but the signing and stuff in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's even if you're not very good at it, at least putting in the effort to like try like means a lot to those people, at least like in my experience. So like just being like, yeah, I tried it for like a couple months or weeks or whatever, and I just I don't like it. Feels shitty. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, like you can struggle with it and everything, and it might not be your forte, but like at least putting in, like you don't have to go out and study it and try to learn every facet of signing, but like at least putting in the effort like a little bit
Mm-hmm.
would be nice, I think. Normally, I think it's not like the biggest deal in the world. Like if, if you go out, not everybody's gonna know how to sign or read signs. So like obviously it's not 100% applicable in the real world, and sometimes people just not know, and you have to kind of like just interpret them as they're talking and kind of figure that out. But especially if it's this guy's girlfriend who would likely end up being this girl's mother, like if you're somebody's mother and you're not willing to like put in the care, I feel like
Yeah.
you're kind of an asshole. But for this guy calling his girlfriend selfish, no, I don't think he's the asshole.
Basically, I'm very much of the same opinion. I don't think that this guy should be scolded because he just is being. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, but I think he very clearly cares a lot about his daughter, and this girlfriend has made a very. If she wants to be invested in the life of the boyfriend, then like she's gonna have to make sacrifices. She has to make choices, and so I think that if she's not willing to take that stride, then I think he's right to call her selfish in that way. I think that he's not in the wrong at all.
I agree with both of you. My like and his biggest thing was like he would understand, or he'd be a bit more he would be a bit more understanding if it was like in a year or something. And like if she was still struggling after a year and was getting frustrated and fed up with it, then like he would be a little bit more understanding. But it's only been a couple of months, and like she's already just like kind of throwing in the towel.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. I really don't like. I don't see it from her side. I don't. I can't see it from Amanda's side. Like, even if I think like her biggest thing is like struggling to understand signing back, because Ruby can't talk back. So,
Right.
and it's just like you can't, like, you're just being like is it ableist in that moment? Technically, like oh, like I don't want to conform to like help this person because they're not
From
like they can't talk like me.
from what I'm getting, it just feels like being lazy. Which I
Understandable.
get. Like, being lazy is easy. But, sometimes if, like, his daughter is part of the relationship that you're trying to grow, and if you're not interested in that part, then that's not the relationship for you.
Understandable. I hear you.
Exactly.
Well, you both would be correct. Reddit has decided that they're not the a-hole. But they do have an update. Someone even said, not the asshole. This should be a deal breaker for you. But in the update, it's a little bit longer. This was 8 days ago. The update was 1. A comment asked me to link the original, so they did. I want to thank everyone for the advice and responses. I definitely don't agree with everything, but I can see both sides. First, I do want to clear up some stuff. I'm not sure why so many people act like I sprung it on Amanda. I never said I did, and I certainly didn't. I told her upfront about Ruby, and it was clear that I expected a partner to be willing to put in the effort for her sake. I also never criticized Amanda for not being fluent. I had no expectation, and it would be easy or quick. Hell, I struggled at first. I never insulted her or had any issues with her progress. My only issue was that she refused to try anymore. While my words were immature, it was only after she basically said it wasn't worth learning sign language that I got upset and said it. I find the idea it's too soon honestly strange. Wouldn't it be worse for us to be engaged or married before I know if she's willing to put in the effort for my daughter? I don't expect perfection, just for her to try. I understand that Ruby needs to be able to communicate in other ways. She doesn't. Ruby doesn't need to do anything. She has her ways of communicating, and she is very allowed to stick to them. She has to for school, but that doesn't mean she should be forced to at home. She shouldn't be forced at all. Anyway, besides, this is all I did to consider. Besides all this, I did consider our relationship serious. I love Amanda. With that aside, I think it's mostly been resolved. Amanda came over and apologized for how she acted. She explained that she had been trying to hide how much she was struggling and got frustrated seeing how quickly Mia was getting it while she understood nothing. Imagine getting mad at your own child for learning something faster than you when like that's literally the point of being a child.
By your child.
Like that's literally what children's brains are a literal sponge. That's the point.
Kid diff.
Yeah. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you, child of mine, learn something faster than I because your brain
Pop
is
off,
developing and has the room for it. Yeah, pop off, Mia.
Snap, snap, snap.
Basically, Amanda was seeing how quickly and effortlessly I was getting close to Mia and was feeling like she was useless with her lack of progress. Imagine being jealous of your daughter with your partner. This is so sus.
Just a kid diff.
This is so sus. Especially, we had a long talk about it, and I apologized for my immature reaction, explained that it was always non-negotiable for me. And I brought it up that it would make If it would make her miserable and resentful, it may be better to separate. Amanda did not like that, and we talked about our relationship and expectations. I considered it serious in the moment. Serious the moment she met Ruby, while Amanda didn't see it quite the same. She knew she wanted me in her life and understood that she meant she had to try with Ruby. Amanda has decided to find her own professional teaching. She thinks it would be better for her frustrations to show there than with Ruby or I. I'll keep teaching Mia because she really enjoys it. It doesn't matter whether she's fluent as long as she's trying. I know Ruby will appreciate the effort for now. For now, Ruby will still have to use other methods to communicate. She was anyways, but hopefully one day she won't have to. Unfortunately, my brother stands by what he says. He says that even though Amanda has given in, it was still unfair of me. That I'm lucky Amanda is willing to put up with it. I've honestly lost a lot of respect for him with all of this. I don't understand how he could think that about Ruby and I. Still, overall, I'd say it's gone well. Thanks for the advice, whichever way you lent. I think we'll be able to get through it. So apparently they're still together. And honestly, props to Amanda for trying.
Yeah, I think the fact that it said that she's going for her own professional teaching, and she thinks it'll be better for her frustration for her frustration to be let on like somebody who's like a professional teacher than on her boyfriend and child. I think doing that is a lot. I think like that's genuinely a good move. That is like showing that you care.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially I think about like just like
what...
therapists in general is like a good example of like, you know, talking to someone who is professional to teach you something is better than almost interaction with it.
I don't know what this guy's brother is on. He's wild, and I think the fact that, like he said, the fact that Amanda has given in is like, no, that in relationships you make compromises. That's
makes me wonder, does
the
brother know sign language?
Yeah, I don't know what the brother's got going on. I don't know what kind of crack he's smoking, but I'm happy that
The
it's
bad
gone
kind.
better for Amanda and co.
One of the comments says, look at it this way. If it all goes well, Amanda will be helping to parent your daughter. It's totally unfair to step into that role if you aren't willing to put in the effort for the kid. Your daughter wouldn't be able to respect her, and it would feel like you chose someone else over how she feels. Your brother, however, seems to think it's too much work to accommodate your daughter. Yes, learning a new language is hard, but your daughter deserves people who are willing to do that. You are teaching her how they said you are teaching her how it is and isn't okay to be treated. She is worth more than what your brother thinks, and he is being terribly ableist, and just in general, not a good influence. What he said is very insulting. Yeah.
The real answer is the brother's the asshole.
Yeah.
The brother is the meanie pants.
The brother is the asshole. All right. And then I've got another short one for you guys, which is, this is honest, should I be scolded for taking away my Netflix account I share with my friend? This is honestly stupid and petty, but I need some insight. I have a Netflix account that I fully pay for. One of my closest friends is in a tight financial situation, and I gave her full access to my account to use as she pleases. Said friend is in a long-term, long-distance online relationship. Today, she called me, and she just casually told me that she gave my Netflix account to her partner so that they could watch movies together. She proceeds to ask if I'm mad she gave it away, and although livid, I responded that her question is a little too late considering she already did it. I didn't want to be an asshole, so I hung up to compose myself. Then I decided to change my password and sign out of all devices currently logged in. Am I the asshole for doing this? I didn't mean to be selfish. I should have been fine with both of them using it I would have been fine with both of them using it if she'd asked. Yeah, don't share my personal information. Ask me first. That's my stance on it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in ask them first.
Yeah. I'm petty when it comes like for certain shit, and I would have totally been like, yeah, no. Like I would have done the same thing. I would have logged them all out.
Yeah,
and change my password. Like, sorry.
I'm like paranoid. My Netflix stuff would be linked to like the same email address that I use for like 8 other things, and probably the same password that I used for like 2 other accounts. If they know that, I don't trust them anymore. They can't have that information. They have too much power then. But like even then, I don't know, the fact that you're like, hey, could you let me borrow this just for a little bit while I fix my financial stuff? Yeah, that's no problem. Thanks. I've been using it for 6 months now. By the way, my boyfriend who I just met, he's allowed to use it now.
Right.
Yeah,
That,
no.
which obviously I don't know all that information, but it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It feels a little sus.
Yeah.
Very
I would say
sussy.
that
No,
they are not.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where again, it's like if it were mutual
If-
understood, if it was asked, then sure, like you can find. I could see where that'd be sort of like petty to do when you had permission, but in the case that obviously she hadn't, I think yes, probably is a little bit rude. Does he have a right to do it though? Totally. Like, and even rudeness only goes so far as like he has that choice, and I think it makes sense that you would make a choice like that when. What if it was you didn't trust to have that information? Like, I don't like when people give information out and I've not given it to them myself. Like, it's just weird if I get phone numbers from like someone's mom being like, "Hey, so so I got your phone number and I just want to like
Oh
check
my
something,"
gosh,
and it's just
I
like,
hate
no,
that. Yeah,
it's
no.
like the worst. That's why like my family's all very good about like no. Like in terms of like my close family, but then I feel like if I give my phone number to like my grandparents, they would probably give it to everyone, and I'm just like, yeah, no, sorry, no, you ain't getting my phone number. I ain't letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think personally, just with lending stuff out and borrowing stuff in general, the person who's lending it out should have every right to stop doing that at any point for any reason,
Yeah.
Mm,
like regardless of what it is. Because as somebody who's both lent stuff out before and borrowed stuff, it like makes sense. It's not yours in the first place.
yep.
So I don't know.
Well, you guys would be right. Most of Redditors agree that they are not the asshole.
Yay! I was right twice in a row this week.
I'm a true Redditor at heart.
No surprise there.
It said it's pretty obnoxious to take a kind gesture and assume that means you can treat it exactly like it's yours and then give the password to whoever else you want. All she had to do was ask, but she decided to do it without asking your permission. That was like the top comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
How rude.
Well put.
How rude.
Druid.
Rude. Well, anyway, let us know down in the comments below on Discord or on Twitter what you guys thought. If you thought they were or weren't. We don't get us wrong. We love differing opinions. We want to hear them all.
We do.
So let us know down
They're our
below,
favorite.
or you can.
You're
tweet.
not wrong unless you disagree with me.
Exactly.
That's
Good
their
point,
choice.
Gabe. Good point.
I do my best.
But we're gonna move on to our Q&A section. And Gabe, would you like the honor of asking of reading and asking the first question? I'm a professional. I know
Sure.
what I'm doing. I know how to speak.
Oh. Favorite anime of all time, if you have one, and why? One Piece, and it's not even close. It's just that good. Watch it.
Okay.
Go now.
Why is it your favorite?
It's just so good. The storytelling in it is wonderful. The foreshadowing that Oda does is really good. The characters are all really lovable. It's just I love it. It's amazing. Highly recommend. 1,000 episodes goes by very quickly.
No, yeah,
Too
1,000. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have mentioned that part. People might have been like, "Oh yeah, like I'm gonna watch it because Gabe watches it," and then you said 1,000. They're like, "Fuck no."
No, watch it.
Kano, I know you don't watch a lot of anime, but what would you say is your favorite if you have one?
I mean, I think I've said this a few times elsewhere, but one of my favorite ish thing would the Digimon. I really like the Digimon like anime. I just think it's just really well done, and considering like Pokemon's great because of like the uniqueness of it, but like Digimon always felt like it was like actual anime, like crazy, over the top kind of like fantasy elements brought in, and so I don't know. That's one of those animes that like it has enough seasons of different characters and people kind of stepping into the same world that I think it's just really cool. Honestly, like I don't know. That'd be my if I had to choose one that felt like an anime, that'd be the one I would choose as my favorite.
Everyone knows mine's AOT. Attack on Titan.
Well,
I literally,
I was gonna say
It is
I
good.
literally have Aaron's key tattooed on my arm forever. It's a tattoo. It is there forever.
5 ever.
5 ever. But I don't know. I just with AOT, I like that nothing is random. Literally everything in that show has a meaning, is going to mean something later, is foreshadowing, whatever. I think it's, especially if you read the manga versus watching the anime. The anime doesn't do a good job in the first couple of episodes of explaining that like everything's intertwined and everything's connected kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the manga does. It very much is just like, it like throws you into this thing and you're like, oh shit, like he woke up from a dream. And it's like, was it a dream? Like in the end, you're like questioning, like, was it? So I don't know. I just like, and I very much enjoy the story. Like I enjoy the characters. My favorite thing is rewatching it and finding all the little Easter eggs. Because like I said, there's everything has a reason. Everything like hints towards future episodes. So I don't know. I really like it. I also think that Levi,
I really think it's cool.
I
really
really
like
think it's
it.
cool. I also think that Levi is like really
Hot.
yeah. Well, he
Fair to
yes.
say that.
He's really hot, but also he's like
Really hot and
no.
really
And
hot
sexy. And voiced by Matthew
and
Mercer.
smoochy woochy.
No, his storyline is just like it's really good and like he's always the underdog, but he's not, you know? Like he's been dealt such a shitty fucking hand. His life is garbage, but he is literally the best like scout that they have.
Yeah.
They're literally like out of everyone in the top of his field, like does like he makes it. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. Like I don't know, like it's like he's just so like dark and broody, I guess. Like there's so much pain in his life because he's just like so good. Like he just keeps prevailing. I don't know, very kind of motivational in a sense, but yeah, he's very smexy. So
Tiny side tangent off of you saying you like going back, rereading it, and seeing how all the stuff connects. I love spoilers. I love watching something for the first time but being like, oh, that is hinting towards the thing that I'm not supposed to know that happens yet. I love spoilers. Anyway,
okay, so what you're telling me is that we're gonna watch Attack on Titan, and I'm gonna point out every spoiler,
I've
but not tell
already
you it's a
watched Attack
spoiler.
on Titan.
I didn't know that. Have you read?
I
The
haven't
manga?
finished like the
Oh.
final season. I haven't finished, final season part 2, episode 1,
Oh
half
wait,
3.
no, yeah, we had this conversation because
But
Fang also caught up too recently.
yeah, I should finish it when it is done. But yes.
Honestly,
Anyway,
just-
next question.
Next question. I have a question. Because I know the answer to it. And you guys, I'll talk about it while you guys think of your answer. But what is the most unpopular opinion? What is an unpopular opinion you have? It could be related to food, games, people, movies, internet, stuff like that. The first thing that popped in my head for me is paper straws. And if anyone who's watched my streams for long enough has heard this rant before, but I'm going to say it again here for the new listeners. I fucking hate paper straws. I know. Before you start typing your little fingies on the
Fuck the
keyboard.
turtles.
No, shut up. It's not that. In my opinion, this is why it's an unpopular opinion. The way that they make paper straws are worse than plastic straws. Yes, plastic straws get stuck in turtles' nose. But paper straws, so that they hold their shape, are made of a thicker material, which they can get lodged in there and get just as stuck. And if they get lodged, and even if they like like it still takes a lot of time for like the paper to fully dissolve if it's 100% biodegradable, which a lot of paper straws aren't biodegradable. They're just made of paper. So they just get mushy. They don't even dissolve. And my hot take is, out of everything in the ocean that we've been polluting it with, you chose straws to focus on. No one talks about like the mass amount of oil and like just just overall plastic garbage, like everything, plastic bags, plastic like coverings, like overuse of plastic on packaging, whether that's food or toys or anything like that. The amount of shit like that in our ocean, and you chose plastic straws because
To play
it's
devil's
hurting the
advocate to
turtles.
that, it's like you have to start somewhere. But yeah,
I have seen no strides since paper straws. Paper straws came out like 5 or 6 years ago, or like maybe even longer than that. And I've seen no real like campaign or strives to like change the way that we package other things. You know,
yeah.
like I will say I'm very conscientious. I can't.
Sure.
About
Conscientious.
plastic. Thank you. Where like if I get like a case of pop that has those plastic rings, I cut every single one of them. There's plastic on my cat's, like I buy like the flat. So it has plastic around it. I make sure that I'm cutting the plastic all the way in half so there's no holes or anything like that to get stuck on anything. I try not to use the plastic bags at grocery stores, especially because I'm only buying for myself, so like I really just need to like grab the fruit. And if I do grab them, then I like try and reuse them at a different point. I don't want to sit here and toot my own horn. That's not the point of that. It's just an unpopular opinion that I have, is that paper straws are the bane of my existence. I hate going to Starbucks and getting like a Frappuccino and then not being able to drink the bottom half of it. Like if I leave it and I'm not chugging the drink, by the time I come back around to it, I can't even drink it because the straw is like mushy, you know? And I'm like, this is very frustrating and annoying. So that's my unpopular opinion. Take it or leave it. Now you guys can resume typing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Send Mousy all the mean comments. I love the turtles, guys. It's okay.
Right. Do you guys have an unpopular opinion?
I think now I don't want to like dog on you because you just ranted about something. This is not meant as an attack. I think people just need to shut the fuck up sometimes, man. Like, God,
Gabe's attacking me. You've heard it here.
Yeah, like when nobody asks for your opinion on shit, just don't say anything, man. Like, God,
this person did ask, so I'm valid.
Twitter's a fucking nightmare.
Oh, Twitter is a
Just
dumpster
like,
fire.
Hey, this game had an update. Shut up! I don't need to hear about how you think that this has changed the meta slightly and that affected you and your son's. Shut up!
What are you talking
I
about
don't
specifically?
care.
Spill the tea. What are you talking about?
Literally, just in general, I just think people just need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Well, this person wanted to know our opinions, so we're valid.
So
Exactly.
another unpopular opinion. Well, it's not really an opinion. It's just a thing that I do. I have been told wrong.
Oh.
Attack me if you may. I will die on this hill. Eat pizza crust first.
No. Gabe! No.
I will die on this hill.
Do you enjoy having messy fingers? Like,
yes. I don't know, man. I just have a paper towel. You're fine. What? Hello? You just give it like a tripod underneath. Have you not used your hands before?
We're getting pizza when we go to Chicago, and I am witnessing this.
Yeah, and you know what? We're gonna get deep dish pizza, and you're gonna use a fork anyway.
No, I won't.
No. I'm gonna cancel you on Twitter when that happens.
Kano's the type of guy to eat thin crust pizza with a spoon.
You're
Depends on the
lying.
situation.
No, you're lying.
Oh God.
Kano,
What?
do you?
would
You
No,
sound-
I'm not. I'm
What?
no.
Do
Who do you think I am?
Do you eat thin crust pizza with a spoon?
No.
Okay. Gabe, stop spreading lies. All right, we
He's
literally
not
talked about
spreading
this.
I said
lies.
he's the type of guy who would, not that he
That-
does. Okay.
You're making an assumption. All right. Oh my gosh.
My goodness. Well, here, then let me share my. Well, it's weird. I feel like my level of opinions, despite the fact that I'm very different, I also don't tend to share a lot of unpopular opinions. I feel like, that relate
Alright, it's just
specifically
me,
to
guys.
food, games, and people. Because I think they're generally pretty reasoned. When it comes to opinions, everything else is highly subjective. Which I guess opinions are technically subjective anyway, so it's not really a matter of
All
fact.
right.
But like I think about like food preferences, I don't consider to be opinions of food because technically it's just what I like or dislike. It's not what I think
Like pineapple on pizza. kind
of the food, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like for example, I wouldn't consider the fact that I dislike mashed potatoes to be an unpopular opinion. That's
You
just
don't
a
like
personal
mashed
preference.
potatoes?
No, I do not like
Kano,
mashed potatoes,
You're
But
but that's
supposed to
not.
get the people to hate you.
I'm learning so much.
Like I don't eat cereal with milk. Kill me.
Ever?
Do it. No. Cringe. The comments will slaughter me. I don't care.
But
I
that's
will die
also
on
like
This
these
is
a
like our
food
most
preference.
controversial episode ever. What is
I will
happening?
die on these hills.
I've had all this time to think
No
about this, and it's
milk?
like kind of funny because I feel like I still haven't like learned anything. I guess. Oh, here's a fun one. Okay, actually, I can totally say this one. This I think is totally subjective. I don't understand why Mr. Beast is so popular. Legitimately. Or any big YouTuber who has like over 25 million subscribers. I just don't get it. Like, why is it that so many people like just one person universally? Like, for me, it makes no sense. I don't understand why people like Mr. Beast. I don't understand why people like Dream. I don't get any of that.
Are you
It
saying
makes
like
no sense to
weird,
me.
cringy
because they're-
YouTubers, or are you saying anyone
'cause
that
they're-
has a big following, like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier?
Yeah, but like it's like because like even for me, I've watched their videos, but even then, I've still not subscribed to Markiplier. I've still not subscribed to Jacksepticeye. I'll look at their stuff, but they're not interesting enough to me that I'm gonna say I want to watch their content all of the time. This is the
Yeah.
person I like to
No,
sit
I
around
agree
and
with
watch and invest time into. Like it sounds so weird. I have a hard time seeing why anyone would be popular enough that they would have that many people who would be genuinely interested in wanting to watch their content. Or like Mr. Beast gets a video up about certain things, and I'm like, he doesn't show up on my recommended feed. Like he never comes up. Like how do people see his videos when literally I don't ever see them? Like clearly my YouTube knows I don't care about it, but it's just funny because it's just like, why is that a thing? Why are these people so popular to a point where
think-
people will have these various opinions over that? And that's my controversial, like,
Yeah. I agree
unpopular
with
opinion. It's
you.
like, I don't think those people deserve the platforms they have sometimes because it makes no sense.
I fully agree with that. I agree with you in this, like, on, like, quick popularity, but, like, people like Jack or Mark, like, I only just recently subscribed to Jack because I had been binging his content, and I was like, I've watched through, like, 6 playthroughs on this man's channel. I probably should subscribe at this point. So I did, but Markiplier, I've watched his FNAF series, I've watched a few videos here and there, but I've never, like, subscribed to him. But with those people, they've been on the platform for 10 to 15 years. So they
Right.
gain that following over a long time. And most of those accounts are inactive or probably don't even, they're just still subscribed, but they don't even like unfollow. I agree with you when it comes to like Mr. Beast or Dream, how they have like overnight success. It's like how, like I agree on the thing of
Mr.
like,
Beast was not overnight. I watched Mr. Beast when he cut a table in half with plastic knives.
when was that?
years ago.
Okay, well then I guess just specifically
That
Dream.
was peak content. I don't
Because,
watch
like, they
his
have,
stuff
like, their
anymore.
following,
Go
but then,
back to
like,
cutting tables with
Well, and I
plastic
think
knives.
that's fair. I had like one of my best friends. He watched Markiplier before Markiplier hit it big. He hit it. He watched
Yeah.
Markiplier before he had 1 million subscribers. Like he had like probably like 35K.
it's the rapid
subscribers.
growth that's like confusing.
Yeah.
Like collectively, all of a sudden, at the same time, like 50 or like 20,000 or no, sorry, not 20,000, like 20 million people are just like, I like this person, I'm gonna follow them, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
huh?
like for me, I'm just like, what? How does this make any sense? And so I
How
think
to
just
do?
aside of confusing myself with that, I'm also just like people should not have that level of popularity and success. It's just not healthy for anybody
No.
at all in general. So that's my unpopular opinion, is that people like Mr. Beast and Dream, who are more recent up and comings when it comes to the big success scene, I'm kind of like, you're not interesting enough for me to consider worth my time.
Understandable. I like the differentiation in our things. Mine was like such a like hot take, or like not a hot take, but like mine was like a heated take on something, and then yours was like
Yeah.
a reason, in my opinion, a reasonable but like bigger take, and then Gabe was just like, don't be a dick.
Shut up!
Just shut the fuck up.
Stop talking!
I just think that's really funny. But we can do one more question. Kato, do you want to pick the question?
Yeah, I'm down. Mm-hmm.
Also, I
right.
highlighted one, but like I did that before we got some extra questions submitted, so like don't feel like
Yes.
you need to answer that one. I just
Which
highlighted
I
it later.
appreciate. No, I would
Cool.
say honestly, the one that I am curious about, which I think just is interesting for me, and I mainly want to ask this because I'm curious what Gabe would say with this answer, with like what he would say with this one. But what's a hobby that you've always wanted to learn? Like something that you've always wanted to learn about. It's not something you currently possess, but that you've always wanted to learn. And then why is it that you, well, I guess this question says, why have you or haven't you pursued it? But I personally want to know more about like, what's a hobby that you have wanted to learn about and haven't pursued? Like
why didn't you do it?
Yeah, like why didn't you choose to take on that hobby, whether that be for whatever reason? I'm curious.
Oh no. Do you have an idea of what yours would be, Kano?
Yes.
Okay, start us off, because I don't. I'm trying to think of hobbies that like I've thought of, like, because there's hobbies that I've done, or like hobbies that I wanted to get into, but like I like would dip my toe into them in high school, but never keep up with them, like painting or stuff like that. But I'm curious to hear your answer.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few, but the one that I think stands out to me mostly because it's something that has been part of my life for a long time is sewing. It's something that like my dad knows how to do and he learned from his mom, and I've always wanted to kind of like learn how to do it because of someone who like likes to do theater and feels kind of like I'm artsy craftsy when I have like time to do artsy craftsy stuff, but I don't often I don't have the skills to like properly equip myself to like do that, and sewing's one of those things. And I feel like for me the reason why is because I've always felt like intimidated by the concept of it because it's so cool and I think it's such an awesome skill to have. And sometimes I'm kind of like, I kind of psych myself out saying like, oh yeah, you don't have time for that, or oh yeah, like it's not worth it, or even to some extent, which is the unfortunate part. Even though in my head I don't think it, I'm like, that's not a hobby that's worth like developing as like a dude who does these things. Like I
Sewing,
can care less if I
will
do
say,
sports, but
is
sewing,
very
like
good
I
to
think it's
know.
so cool, and I just forget to like invest in it. And so
I took a
that's
sewing class in
something
high school. I'll teach you.
that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's a hobby that I really do wish I like knew, or that I still want to know eventually. I just don't know how or when I'm gonna get that learned.
Okay.
But that's the one that stands out to me most of all.
I have a couple come into my mind. I do have to sneeze though, so hold on.
Holding.
That's you.
There's two. So I've always wanted to get into like specifically watercolor painting. I think watercolor is very pretty, and I've always wanted to just like sit down and like, or like go to like a park and just like paint something that I see, you know? I want to do something like that. A weird one that I don't know if you consider a hobby, but like, cause some people do it as a job, but like dog walking. Like, I think that would be really fun to just like my sister actually does it. Like, well, she doesn't do it anymore, but like when she before they moved, they had a neighbor from down the street that they had a new puppy, and every day she would leave work for lunch, but she'd get like she'd work like a split shift because she'd go to
Mm.
work in the morning and then she would walk the dog. The dog's name was Fonzie. She'd walk Fonzie for an hour every day, and then she would go back to work, like after like a lunch break or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to walk dogs.
Be
And
fun.
then like anything to do with like exercise, because like
Mm.
like going to like I wouldn't say going to the gym is like a hobby necessarily, but it's like again, it's definitely not a job. But like
Yeah.
anything under that lines of like I don't know, like cycling or like running or like more physical activities, like some even something that is extreme or like as big as like I don't know, snorkeling or something. My only
Yeah.
problem with that though, snorkeling came to mind. But I probably would the reason why I would never do snorkeling is because I'm afraid of water. Or like deep water.
Deep water.
Yeah. In regards to painting, I never really picked it up. Like I did it in high school a little bit, but like I've just never gone to like a craft store and like bought a
Mm.
watercolor set and just did it. When I have free time, I kind of just like relax and don't do anything because I'm so busy doing so much all the other time.
Right.
Which I love. I like I've talked about this before, but like I love having like a schedule but having it like different every time.
Yeah.
So when I'm not doing literally everything under the sun for work, I like to just like sit and do nothing and like just watch something.
Right.
And then dog walking, I don't know. I'm just shy and I don't want to really walk up to my neighbors and be like, "Hey, can I walk your dog?" Like,
Yeah.
Give me your dog.
give me your dog for an
Yes.
hour a day. Like,
I do find it really funny to just think about you just being like, so what do you do in your free time? I just recreationally walk dogs. Like, you know, I just like I'm just done with my day and I just walk over to a
I
neighbor's house, I
love
grab the leash, I just put the
dogs.
dog on the leash and we just walk for like an hour. And
Yeah.
then I go back and then I'm like, okay, time for me to go have my dinner now. And like you just don't even
But
just,
I love dogs and I just like
no,
I
it's
don't get
I
out
think it's more
enough
the
that I think it would
recreational
be
part of it that
good.
makes me
Yeah.
laugh. Like
Versus like
it's obviously like doing
taking
it for a job I can see,
Yeah.
but like the fact of you just being like, I'm bored, let's just go walk my dog. And it's like or not even your own dog, just somebody else's dog. I find
my dog's a grumpy
really funny.
fucker. He doesn't get along with other dogs.
Which I
But
get.
I used to walk him when I was younger because we like had him because we lived in like a smaller place and he's like a big German
Mhm.
Shepherd. I would take him to the park and I would walk him. And like that would just be something that I did because after school, if I didn't have any homework, like I would just do it, you know? And if it was nice out during the summer, like I would just go and walk. I probably like, I don't know. Those are the first things that come into my head. I'm sure I'm going to be thinking about this later and being like, I should have fucking said this, but I didn't. So
I gotcha.
anyway.
That makes sense. I will say
Different thing with
before I
hobbies.
let Gabe talk,
But
since you
Gabe,
said
you're not allowed to talk.
multiple
Hold on.
hobbies, I was curious. Because sewing is one of mine. The other one, if I had to choose one, I won't go into detail, but I always thought going to martial arts would be a fun hobby because I really wanted to be a Power Ranger when I was a kid. And so
Oh,
knowing martial
my
arts would have been so
heart.
awesome because I could be like, I'm a Power Ranger,
Oh,
and
that's
like
so
doing the
cute.
cool fight choreography. That would have been
Another
fun.
one would be like rock climbing. I did rock climbing in high school, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought of that. Anyway, Gabe, you're allowed to talk now.
All right, Gabe, it's your turn. What would you like to share with us?
It's very
Speak.
patronizing. All right, you
We
can
love
speak
you.
now.
We love you.
I kind of got two as well. They both kind of follow in the same vein. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like diorama making shit.
Oh, mhm.
Like I love watching
Ooh.
people do that. It's so satisfying. I would love to do that. And also
Haven't you already done that for
woodworking.
one thing at least?
Not really.
Do you not have a diorama in your room?
No.
Oh.
I mean, unless you're talking about Pickle's litter box, but it's not exactly my art.
Maybe I'm just confusing you with somebody else. I feel like you've mentioned this before to me, and I'm having weird flashbacks for some reason. Anyways, continue.
But that and like woodworking, I think would both be really fun to do. And even then it's like I would be able to like do that and like stream it too. I think that would be really fun. The thing that's stopping me is money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that way about
Buying
Lego.
woodworking tools is expensive.
Mhm.
Buying
Buying
wood is expensive.
is
Oh, wood is so
expensive.
expensive.
Buying the stuff to like do diorama shit can be expensive.
It cost my stepdad and I $200 to build a gate for my backyard.
Yeah.
Wood is
Yeah.
so expensive right now, and I don't understand.
It's always been, unfortunately.
So basically, what I'm saying is, if you want to watch your favorite streamer, me, of course,
Recogniz
mhm,
underscore.
if you want to watch me make shit, give me all of your money, and I'll do it. I'll
I will
make
say, I
things.
like
Just
how-
pay me all of your money. Give me your mother's credit card. The 3 numbers on the back.
I like how on my end, when you
No.
were self-promoing, we have like a social reel that like rotates at the top of like the YouTube videos, and as you're self-promoing, Kano and I's Twitch came up. He, like,
Yeah, it's
messaged-
true. You should just go give them all your money. That's my
No,
fault.
no,
MB,
no,
MB,
no,
MB.
no.
No,
No.
but I think that'd be really fun to do either of those things. I think making stuff is fun. I don't know if I would want to do that as like a job because I feel like that would put a lot of pressure on me. And
Yeah. Don't
I
try not to
hate
turn your
having
hobbies into
pressure
a
put
job.
on me like that. But I
Yeah.
would love to like do that and just like, I don't know, make shit for myself to use and just also make shit for other people because I think that would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I'll give
I think it would be
little
neat.
PSA. I said that and then I realized that sounds bad. If you have something that you genuinely love and you know you can make a living off of it, do it. Just know going into it, you're probably going to either not hate it after a while, but like
It will become a chore.
find another hobby if you're going
Yes.
to turn one of your hobbies into a job.
Find
Because-
another hobby.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying because like it's going to become
Do
your
better.
job and you're going to view it as your job, that when you viewed it as a hobby, it's much different. Like there's still love for it, but like you need something to do in your off time, because if you're only doing this hobby as your job, like I can guarantee that you're going to like fall out of love with it even if you come back to it. But like
Right.
I just want to like PSA warn you guys that like most people who turn their hobbies into jobs don't regret it, but then view it as a job versus a hobby. So you need to have something fun to do in your off time if you're going to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Because it's all fun and games as a hobby, but then once you start having expectations and deadlines and
Yes.
customer service,
Trust me, some people in my community will understand what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yep.
But if you want to let us know your answers to these questions, we would love to hear your unpopular opinions, your favorite anime, and all that jazz. Let us know down below in the comments, either on Podbean, on YouTube if you're watching there, in the Discord, or in our Discords, I should say plural, or on Twitter. You can tweet us at GrandparentsPod and let us know what you thought or you think. We'd love to hear your unpopular opinions. Please ignore my cat crying in the background. He is being obnoxious. Normally he's pretty good, but I think he has a toy. I haven't turned around to check yet. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. Check out our socials. All that lovely stuff. Kano?
Yes. All right. So now we will segue into my favorite part of the
Segue!
entire podcast, which is the gaming segment. So
Woo!
for this week, because we had Gabe on as a guest, I specifically chose a game that I thought would be appropriate for him to be on, which was definitely a Genshin related game, right?
Yeah.
You know, totally
Mhm.
Genshin.
I
game.
love Genshin Impact.
Yes, exactly. He loves it.
Your irony
so
is going to
since-
become truth very soon, and I'm scared
So-
of that. I want you to play Genshin because I feel
I
like
won't.
you like grindy games. Okay,
I
it's
won't
very.
do it.
I will make you.
Maybe one
Literally
day.
cannot.
But
You play on my
since
account.
Gabe loves Genshin so much, I decided to do a game that he wouldn't like in that case. So instead of doing Genshin, today we were doing a game about Critical Role, which is something that both Gabe and Mousy have managed to get me into in recent
Aha.
times.
Yes.
And so basically today's question, today's quiz, today's game, we finally got there, is
there in the end.
all quotes from Critical Role, Critical Role characters, Critical Role players, across the three campaigns or different forms of media that Critical Role has existed in. So yeah, so sort of like my whose line is it anyway kind of thing.
Oh
But in
my
essence,
gosh.
this is a Critical Role based thing. So I will read out
Ooh.
5 different questions, or five quotes.
Do
And
we
there's
get
an answer for
multiple
it.
choice or no?
No, but I will give you hints based on
Okay.
what I know of the characters that are saying these quotes, because unfortunately, some of them I've never heard before myself. So we'll
Great.
just get to see how it goes.
That's fine. You will
Um,
in the future.
I like the
Yeah.
last one.
Well, hey, stop skipping
reading
ahead.
ahead.
Gabe.
You
Well, then fine. You want to
let
know,
him
Gabe?
read
You
the
want to know what, Gabe?
questions.
You know what, Gabe?
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Since you ruined it, it's not gonna be the last
Yeah.
question anymore. It's gonna be the first one. All right, ready?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So your
yeah,
first
fine.
quote. This is the first quote, and we get to see which character has said this. So, first quote is, "She has sex for money."
She has sex for money.
She has sex for money. It's
For
Jester.
money.
Who has said this?
That's Jester.
Jester.
What's the last name?
Lavore.
Lavore.
Okay, good, because these are full names. I expect you to give them.
Oh no! You ass.
This is how this
No,
goes.
no.
All right. But anyway,
I
so
can
yes.
say the full quote for that too. Just the like and the what does
What does that mean?
She has sex for money. Okay.
Exactly. All right. Cool. Got that done. Congratulations. Another one.
Woo!
Yay.
100%.
All right.
Ding, ding,
Okay.
ding.
Cool. Second quote. What's the best thing you've got that's, within reason?
I have a guess.
You
have
said
my
we
guess.
get hints.
Yes, I'll give you a hint. This
Damn.
character is a female.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think I know who.
I don't know.
My only thing is that do we get half points if we can't get their last name?
I mean, if you tell me the first name, I might know the last name.
I'm not
That's
telling you
not
the
as
first
it
name.
works, Gabe.
we can go half.
I don't know if they have a last name, and if they do, I don't.
That's fine. I was
remember.
I mean full name rather, or at least full name that you know of this person.
Okay. All right.
In the particular case of Jester, they have pretty much
have
a
a first and
synonymous
last
last name that fits with them.
Marian Lavore, the ruby of the sea. Anyway, sorry.
Exactly. So anyway, so
Oh my God,
what's
Sam.
your guess for this one, Mousy?
Wait, Cape's gonna steal it, but my guess is Vexalia.
That's not a bad guess. I was gonna go with Beauregard.
Okay. Well, since I know you're a man of your word, Gabe, the answer was Vexalia.
Yes! I could just see her going up to Gilmore and be like, what's the best thing you've got? That's, within reason. Like, I don't know. I just see her trying to swindle someone,
Well, yeah, of course.
So this is just a Laura fan club. Okay.
Yep. Literally me.
Yeah, literally just the
Literally
one
just me.
person.
Me.
So cool.
I'm not gonna get any of the other ones because it's not Laura.
Are you skipping ahead? Are you looking at the ones that are ahead?
No,
Yeah,
because
no.
I wait till Kano reads them to me.
It's true, exactly. But cool. So Mousy's got 2 points. Gabe has technically 1, because he's nice and he doesn't jump on people. All right. So
He could have
Don't
guessed the
jump
same
on
thing.
people. You heard it here first.
yeah.
Don't worry, I won't
So
jump.
third quote. You have a 6-pack of donuts, but you don't have a healer's kit in there, and you're the cleric.
Oh, I know who said this.
I never thought I was going to be the cleric.
I didn't think I was going to be traveling with a bunch of people who are going to die all the
Die all
time.
of the time.
What are you? You're highlighting it, Kano.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Yeah. My guess. My guess was not, but
Oh, by golly, it sure is not Beauregard Lionette, I'm certain.
mine was gonna. I will stick to my instinct and not take the point because I feel bad. But
Yes.
mine was not the brave. I thought it was
Well,
Sam
thank
giving
you.
Laura shit.
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
Well,
I
that.
figured it
well,
was
good job.
either Ford or Bo, and I was leaning towards Bo again to double down on it. So I will take the point. I have no
Okay.
choice.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I do trust both of you to be responsible with
Yeah.
your answers, so I will take that. So yes. So it was indeed Beauregard Lionette. So that means that Gabe and Mouse are currently tied 2 out of
Yay!
3, both. So let's see what happens next. All right.
Okay.
These ones show
Don't
up will
highlight
be
the
much
damn
better.
answer.
Well, I have to check the answer too sometimes. Okay.
Okay.
As in more difficult, or
Okay, then I won't look this time because when I wait till you read the question and then I go back and reread it.
Yeah.
Goldfish brain.
Sorry. Okay.
That's fine.
Then here, just let me. Okay, two
Okay, I
seconds
won't
to not
look, I won't
look.
look,
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
won't, I
quickly
won't.
copy paste all these things. Okay.
La,
Sorry,
la,
actually deleted them
la.
all.
You deleted it?
Okay, no, we're good now. Okay, you're good. Okay, all right, we're fine. I just
This
control
is the
V.
most chaotic podcast episode ever.
Sorry, we're fine. Okay, cool. Okay, we got them all. So I don't highlight anything. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
We're good.
All right, we're good. Okay, so quote number 3 or 4. Sorry, technically speaking. All right.
Blame Gabe.
You've got a weird little cult going, and that's okay. To be fair, I'm in a weird little cult. I mean, there's nothing unusual or wrong about it. All God is really is a cult with a franchise.
I know who this is.
Got a
I'm like 95% sure.
I'm in
I
a
don't
weird
want
little
to steal
cult.
your glory here, Mousy, but I might catch the dubski today.
Shut the fuck. All of God is really cult with a
Hi.
Who said this? Because
You always have a hint.
Yes. Oh yeah. Give me a hint.
Okay, this is from campaign 2.
Okay, that's what I was leaning towards. Oh, I have my answer.
Do you want to go first then, or should I?
You both say the same time.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on.
okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
I think you should go first if you're being indecisive.
No. I know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ready? We're going
Yeah.
to count it down, and you guys both
Okay.
hear my voice at the same time, so I'll count it down. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Molly Mock.
Caduceus Clay.
Okay. All right. Well, the answer is indeed Caduceus. So Gabe got it right.
Get
Fuck, I was gonna go with
rolled.
Caduceus. That's why I changed last second to Molly because I was like, oh, Caduceus is also a cleric, so it would be fun, him saying to be fair, I'm in a weird little cult.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing unusual going on about that. And then I was just like, wait, no, I feel like that would be something Molly would say because he's like, to be fair, I'm in a bit of a weird cult too. Just like that, cocky.
It was just a Taliesin moment.
It's just, yeah, God, dude, it literally is Taliesin.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I also find it really ironic that all the quotes I chose came from Jester interactions, but I think just because,
I did think about that, but
again, Laura Bailey fan club, at
Yes.
least, yeah. So who knows? Maybe the
we're
last
finding
quote will
out.
also be from that. You never know. We'll find out if my pattern stays true. Right. You just shushed your cat like a baby, being like, shh.
I'm
it's
cuddling
okay.
him, and I'm telling him it's
It's
okay.
just so funny.
He was being
This
really
is
good for
so-
the first hour. I don't want him to
so
ruin it
chaotic.
at the end. No, it's okay, buddy.
He loves you. Anyways, all right, we'll do the last quote. Okay, so this one again may follow a similar pattern or not, but it's I know what you're doing. Don't try and seduce me.
I think I know who this is too.
Hint? Can I get a hint? Because I have an idea, but I
Mhm.
need to confirm it.
It is a male character.
That didn't help at all. I was already thinking a male character. Oh.
It can't be too specific, otherwise people pretty much know exactly who it is based on just context.
Can I get what campaign? You think that's too much?
I think that would be fair,
Okay, fine.
personally.
It's from actually, no, here I'll be even more specific. It is from an animated series.
Oh, so okay.
So I cannot confirm nor deny whether or not it comes from campaign 1 or not.
Well, yeah, you just did.
No, I meant to say that no, because not
it's from
everything from Legend of Vox Machina comes from campaign 1. Some of it's been made for the show. So therefore, that is your more accurate interpretation.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
I have my answer. It's probably wrong.
I have mine as well.
All right, then we'll do the
I'm a
countdown.
little more uncertain, so I'm going to go first. If we want to do a countdown that works out too, I don't know.
I think it's more funny. It's really hilarious also to hear you guys say it at the exact same time and have different answers.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Grog.
Percival DeRollo.
Oh. All right. Well, Mousy got it right. It is
God
Grog.
damn it.
Specifically when talking
Yes!
to Mr. Evil Briarwood Man. Because he's going to use charm on him. And he's like, I know what you're doing. Don't try and seduce me. And then
It just feels like
yeah.
a grog. Like I didn't remember what it was from, but like I'm also thinking like you said it was like you saying it is anime. Like I was thinking grog, and then you said it was from the animated and it was a male, and I was like, okay, well then it's probably grog. I also did think Percy, but I just pictured Grog like talking to that nymph, like when they before they went to the Feywild, and I just like imagined him saying that to her. But I guess it's towards Silas Brown.
My initial thought was actually Molly Moss.
Sorry. Hold on. Grog's strong jaw, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you mean Grog's stone jaw?
Is it stone jaw?
No, it is strong jaw.
Okay. Never mind. I'm losing my mind.
My jokes are
fine.
lost on you.
What the hell?
But hey, nice thing is you both tied in evenness. You both got 4 out of 5, so that's
Can we
very
get a
good.
tiebreaker?
You want a tiebreaker?
Yes,
I don't like
Really?
Can you pick a quote from like Calamity or something?
Or
yeah,
C3?
sure. Yeah, hold on. Let me just
Or
do
what?
a little. You guys have a little discussion
Campaign
while I
3.
look up some stuff.
Or he doesn't want Campaign 3. I mean,
Well, Campaign 1 is more your stomping ground than mine, and C2 is more mine than yours, I feel like. And C3 would be like a...
I'm gonna sunder you.
That's not an answer! There's no
Good quote.
characters with
That's a
that
good
name,
quote.
buddy. There's no character. Frumpkin? Frumpkin?
Frumpkin, yeah. Frumpkin.
Yeah, pick a Frumpkin quote, Kato.
What?
No, there's a familiar. They don't talk.
Oh, I see.
He's kidding. You can pick a trinket quote.
Is the
Because he
dirt
does
wizard
talk.
here?
Is the dirt wizard here?
Ooh, here's a fun one. This one's a bit more vague. We'll see if you guys can
Okay.
figure out who it might be.
All right, let me do a clap foot. There we go. Go ahead.
All right, found my quote. Okay, so this
Okay.
is from Calamity. This is a clear bonus question. I'll even say that it's from the first episode of Calamity.
Oh, thanks.
Fire.
So it'll
Shut
hopefully
up.
help. But all right, here you go. So here is the quote.
Mhm.
I would like to toast those that are not with us as well. To Evandrin, who should be here in this place, in this position of honor, and who would have been handling that entrance with a lot more grace than I certainly did. But thank you all, my friends. I appreciate you.
I've got it.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh no. Can you say it again?
Mm-hmm. I would like to toast those that are not with us as well. To Evandrin, who should be here in this place, in this position of honor, and who would have been handling that entrance with a lot more grace than I certainly did.
Oh,
But thank you all, my friends. I appreciate you.
I know.
All right. Then
This
who
is
is
gonna be
it?
Another
tiebreaker.
tie.
It's gonna be
All
another
right.
tie. It's Xerxes.
Cool.
It's Xerxes, yeah.
Ha!
First Knight of Avalier? Huh? Is it not? I will cry.
Actually, yeah, no, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
You can't just bait me like that.
It's more fun that way.
All bait and switch.
Okay, fine. We'll pick a different quote then. Let's find
Ah!
something else out. You can't have a tie a second time.
No, that's not how a tiebreaker
We'll
works.
just forever be like tied with
It's
our
gonna
We're just
words.
gonna
forever be
keep
tied.
going.
Yeah.
The episode
How
never
rude.
ends.
It might
I
change
will
a little
say,
bit.
if you do pick something from Calamity, we've seen it. Like, I think Calamity is a good choice, but you have to pick like a really niche quote because like we've seen it twice. now.
Yeah, I know. They're like, do something for Calamity. And then now you're like, we'll do something.
Well, because I
more
thought
niche.
about it and I was just like, well, yeah, we watched it twice, but like I know you like Calamity, and that was my first instinct was to
That's
like
true.
suggest Calamity
I
because you
do.
Pick a Honey Heist quote.
So it'll be even
No.
more
pick a grog.
more
one-shot.
niche.
Apparently, send me
Let's
that
see here.
meatball, then I fucking died.
Fucking
Come
died.
on.
I don't want to make any assumptions,
Assumptions,
but...
It's such a good line.
All right, then here, you know what? I'm gonna make this extra hard. Let's
Oh,
see
no.
here. Okay, all right.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be from a player.
A player.
One player.
Mhm.
Oh,
I want to see if you can guess. This is going very out of context, but I want to see if one of you guys can get this. This will be your tiebreaker, so you're welcome.
So this is the player saying it, not the character. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So the quote is, "Oh my G, Brendan, you sack of crap." And that's the line.
Is it sack of crap or sack of shit?
Sack of crap.
Okay.
That's the actual line.
Okay. That does make a difference.
If it was the word, I would probably said sack of.
Yeah. I just
oh my
wanted
god,
to,
Brendan, you sack of crap. I have an idea. I'm tied between two.
Yeah, me too, actually. I'm curious if they're the same two.
I can say them because I'm flip-flopping between them.
Yeah, me too. Mine is Travis and Lou.
Mine's Travis and Abria.
Do we split the difference and both say Travis?
No, we should probably say the opposites. Because if we're right and it's Travis, then we're still tied. You know what? I'm gonna say Abria. Send it. It's probably Travis, but I'm gonna say Abria.
I'm saying Lou then. Fuck it. We ball.
Okay, well then fine. It's Travis. You both are wrong. Congratulations. Okay, then you know what? Here's a random one. Let's see here.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard to find something that makes sense.
I can literally hear Travis saying that though, like, "Oh my god, Brennan, you sack of crap!" Oh my god!
Let's see here.
I'm so sorry, Kano.
It's okay. It's fine. It happens. I get it. It's all right. You guys are just too genius. You guys know these people. These people know way too well. You know, it just happens.
Is there a transcript of EXU, like the first one? Because I barely remember that one. I guess
there is. I just don't know that one, obviously. So I have no idea who the characters are. All right, I've got your final quote.
Okay, final quote.
If this doesn't break the tiebreaker, then unfortunately, you just have to tie. All right, ready? This is your quote. Mm-hmm. It's "I touch magical bleep all day long."
Is it shit?
Yes.
I touch magical shit all day. Oh, what was it? I touch magical shit.
Is this from Calamity?
Correct.
I touch magical shit all day long?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I will accept player or character for this one.
I have
mine.
I have mine, yeah.
All right.
I say the character.
I'm going to say the player.
Okay.
All right. Then 3, 2, 1.
Nidus.
Lou Wilson.
Ooh. You guys both got it wrong.
We're still
tied. It was
though.
Abria.
Fuck, I was thinking.
It would be.
Well, yeah. I was thinking Nidus because, like, he touches all the magical
he
items.
touches magical shit all day long.
Yeah, but she like actually touches me. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we're tied. Oh well.
So what this quiz proved is that Mousy and Gabe are both equally adept with Critical Role knowledge and trivia.
Mm-hmm.
At least when it comes to everything before campaign 3. We didn't have a chance to quiz on that, but I'm sure Gabe would be probably even more knowledgeable then.
I think it's really funny. Like, I don't remember when it was, but a while ago, I was giving like random facts, and Rachel just goes, "How do you remember so much of campaign 1?" And I'm like, "Because I'm obsessed with it. That's why."
I don't remember campaign 1.
I remember like literally almost everything. Maybe some things are skewed, like timeline and stuff like that, or like I remember things, but like I can tell you quotes from like when they were first starting. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, which is impressive.
Thanks. Anyway, we ended in a tie. But anyone who watches Critical Role, feel free to let us know if you got any of these answers right, or how many you did get right.
We'd love to know. And if you have any ideas for potential games you'd like to see in the future, let me know as well, because I have been changing it up quite a bit lately. Mm-hmm. And if there's something you think would be cool, I'd be happy to try something out.
Yeah. Where can they send that to you, Kano?
Yeah, well, if you'd like, you can go to my Twitter, which is Dr. Kanoka at Dr. Kanoka, no spaces, just DRKANOKA. You can do it there. You can also join my Discord server, which I share with my friend Rhino. You can go to the Q&A area, even potentially where you'd ask questions. You can also list game options or anything else you might have in mind.
You can also send it to the Grandparents Podcast on Twitter, because
Correct.
I kind of am in the one that like makes the post on Twitter, but I will definitely move the message along as well. So
yes,
yeah,
she's a social media guru.
I'm the girl. I'm the social media girly. But anyways, that concludes our episode. Before we wrap it up, Gabe, is there anything you'd like to promo? No, not you, Pickles. Just Gabe.
So I have a really cool cat. His name's Pickles. You can go watch him at twitch.tv/RECOGNIZ3_. He'll be there every now and again. He'll be putting in his input on my exceedingly mediocre gameplay. He'll be
selling
there.
himself.
I guarantee you.
100% Pickles will be there.
Otherwise, if you don't want to watch me, go watch these people do things. They're cool too.
Hi. Well, thank you for that, Gabe. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Kano, any last words or thoughts?
I think we had our little bit earlier. We talked about, again, just make sure you double check your information online. That's always helpful. Just like me, for example, when all these quotes came along, who knows? What if they actually weren't from the people I said they were from? You wouldn't know, but you could look it up instead and figure it out for sure. So
exactly.
He's
just
us.
No,
go tell Kano he's wrong on Twitter.
Exactly, prove it.
Type out on Twitter.
Prove it. That he's
wrong.
Now he's challenging. But all jokes aside, we love you guys very much. Again, you can send us your opinions, your thoughts, your answers, your results, and stuff like that for anything that was said on the podcast today on the Podbean comment section, on the YouTube comment section. You can tweet us, or you can put it in either of our Discords. We are very, very active on both of those. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thank you for always listening if you have been, and we will see you in the next time. Fuck, yep. I can't speak today. We will see you in the next podcast. Be good people, do good things. We love you.
Yeah, we love you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.